Hey guys, welcome back, and let's see what is up for grabs today. Alright, I'm going to pop over to the 15 minute here. What do I want to see here? Alright, so we still got this fair value gap from yesterday, which we haven't gone into, but we've moved down into this lower fair value gap, and these equal lows right here. So we managed to run that during the AM session, and then we saw the rejection, and there was good money to be made on this move up. And if you really look at this from the swing point down here, that's this gun there, marked it out here, boom. And in this fair value gap, let's mark that out, let's make it blue, out of a fair value gap, and now we're expecting price to go back to this high up here. Well, that's at least what I see right now. Going back to the 1 minute, I'll show you guys where the AM entry was. I just want to put these EMAs back on. Alright, so let's do this. Where was this entry? Okay, so this was the entry right here. So we've got this, just hold on 1 second. Right, so sorry about that. So obviously this gray block here, this was the ORB, that opening range. Some people trade that first 15-minute breakout and all of that. I just mark it out to see. Let's see, that was the entry. And the ORB high was the target. You could have gotten your 2 to 1 there. So that's the trade I took earlier, and made some money on that, so which was great. And then we saw price just go to the moon from here, and that's why I'm going back to the 15-minute to show that that was the entry that I just showed you. Nice up move into these liquidity, you know, all of these highs here, and then obviously we've got this fair value gap up here. So for now we were in discount here, and now I'm expecting, my expectation is obviously to target this high or the bodies of these candles. And but one thing I would say, tomorrow's FOMC, so I would not be going crazy trying to take trades here. I'm just saying, so just be careful. And what we could find, if I go back to the 15 quickly, we could find this was a fake out there, inducement there, and this could range pretty much. Just want to see how many points this is. That's 183 points. So we could see price just go sideways here into FOMC tomorrow, or actually go higher and then hopefully create some sort of liquidity for us to target tomorrow. Alright, going back to the 1 minute. Let's see. there's nothing in this up move here. Little gaps, but nothing that stands out. There's a gap here, there's an unfilled gap down here. So we could see price come all the way back down here and then go up, or just expand from here, or just do nothing. Only reason I'm here now is just to obviously give you guys guidance. That's how I see the market before FOMC, and then obviously if there's an entry that stands out, I mean, for this trade here, there's a nice target there, all the way up in there. So that depends on if we want to go higher from here. If we want to see price go, that's probably your first target, and then we've got, you know, other highs here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just put a stop here. Or even put a stop up there. See if that will work out. Only reason I take this is obviously there's the idea to go to that high for me. If we don't want to consolidate, that's most probably where we will go. But we need to get through this gap here to go higher. So maybe let's mark these out. Boom. Alright, and this high here is in the bottom end of this fair value gap. So a spike in there, if we want to consolidate, would be a reasonable target. But yeah, let's keep an eye on it and see if that's actually what wants to play out, or do we want to go lower again. And then obviously if we close above this fair value gap, then we would like to see price go all the way up there. But I mean, you want to see expansion here and close above that high, or that line there, to close above there in order to see price go higher. Nothing high probability on this trade, so just bear that in mind. And this is obviously not financial advice, and this is a paper trade account, so don't go crazy if you want to take a trade. This is more for obviously for learning. So let's see. So I do think now that we've got this push up, I don't expect to see price reverse here. I'm expecting price to go through that line at least. If that was a quick scalp, that's what I would have targeted, just that, or at least this 50% of this fair value gap right there. And then obviously if it closes above all of this, then expect a target up there. there's a little gap here for price to come back into, which is right there. And just to show you guys, just this little gap here. Right there, didn't spike really in it, but you would expect price to go in it, so we'll take one trade off there, and then I'll move my stop quite close and see if we can get all the way up higher. Okay, there we go. Want to see the body close in that blue block, which is the fair value gap, and not outside of it. If I say outside like this, below it. It can wick through it, but the body mustn't close below it. Because then it tells me we might do some sideways move here, or can come down lower first. Like that looks like trouble to start with. And this, guys, this is what you call high resistance liquidity. So you go up to those liquidities, but don't really run it, and then, you know, seesaw back and forth. I mean, I'd like to see, this is obviously a place where you just close your trade, and because it might want to go lower first, or this candle goes aggressively up and close above it. That's also not ideal, because you don't want to see fair value gaps get inverted and inverted again. So this is most probably going to run this low and stop us out, or at least this trade will get stopped out. I mean, the ultimate thing is to cut your loss here, like this. We'll just have to do this. It obviously, we didn't take full loss. It was what, $400. So we'll have to see if price wants to go higher. Yeah, remember our stop was down here. This could, you know, find resistance in this big black candle to push lower again. So let's see. Alright, so seeing price going slightly sideways there, so might run this low if it wants to go higher again, but just bear in mind there's a little gap down here. Then again, remember 15 minutes, stuck in that much bigger range, which is 180 points, I think, the range, so pretty much in the midsection there. Didn't really get to my stop here, but well, I guess it's fine. This is not ideal scenarios where you invert. We've seen it before in the previous weeks, and we also know what happened when that happened. remember what we said, resistance in this big black block, which is this gap, here. If we go above here, I might try another buy. To target up there. Let's see if we on the right side here. It's not even worth taking this. The reason is the minute, we go back and forth here, so it's not worth the risk. We can just sit back and watch. Most probably will play out, but that's fine. Pretty much stuck here. Let's see, we still VWAP. It's got to be, yeah, VWAP's pretty flat as well, so not worth risking anything here. Let's keep it clean. That would have been my stop anyways. I would have been down $800, but we halved that to 400, so it's fine. Let's see how we run these lows, and I think this is going to be the other low. We might be targeting here, or maybe this gap down here. So let's see. Alright, so this black candle closed below this swing point here, so even if we reverse here, it won't be a clear reversal. I'm expecting, because we closed below that and that with a solid candle, we might go lower here. or not. I mean, if this candle close above that 50%, let's see, it's at that 50%. Alright, so that might be aggressive push to go higher. Let's see. I mean, we've run this low. Not the best run. We slightly closed below it, so it would have seemed like momentum wanted to go maybe to a different one with this gap here. But we see a strong rejection there, so, and we've taken out this high. Let's see if we can close. Yep, we close above that fair value gap. Maybe buy another one and see if we can take it to the top side here. That's the 50%. Might be lucky to go all the way through to the top there. So what I want to see now is us close full body strongly above this level here. That will tell me we might want to go higher, and if we can close or get through this 50% closing above, then pretty certain that we could go to the top side of that fair value gap. If we spike through this high and come back with a white candle or a white body, and the next one is a black candle, then we might go lower again. And I'll show you guys if it plays out. Okay, let's see what it does here. White candle, like to close like that, then I want to see price go higher. I don't want to see a pin there and close below here, because then there's a probability that we might come down again. Push, push, push. Okay, so we close above that, so I'd like to see price push higher here. Okay, Let's see. See if we can get it push up through that 50% there. Okay, so there's another target up here. Okay, let's see if we can get that push now. Okay, well. Maybe let's try this. See if we can get there. We'll try to manage the trade if we break through this to go higher, and see if we can actually get to that level up there. Struggling to get through that 50% of that fair value gap. Okay, so this liquidity is still holding price. If we're going to close like that, as long as it's holding it above, I want to see the push higher. If we can keep this low here and the next candle go and break those highs, I would move my stop to break even here, even slightly in profit here actually, and try to ride a wave up here. Let's see if it's going to give me that. Okay, so next candle must be a white candle closing up here somewhere and not take that low out. Then I think I'll be good to go to move my stop to break even at least. let's see if we can get it. Come on. Give us a big, nice, fat body candle to the upside. Right, so there is a swing point there. I'm going to move my stop to break even. Even if it decides to come down, rather kick me out then, because if we now break that swing low, close below it, then we might come back down here. Or stay in a range, and we most probably will, if that's the case, most probably see a move later in the session, which I'm not going to sit around for, and the reason being is it's FOMC tomorrow. It's never a good time to try to trade the day before or the AM session before it anyway, so I'll then most probably be with you guys PM tomorrow again, and then we'll see what FOMC, well, I'll be here for FOMC, and then or just after FOMC, and see what if there's any opportunity there. If not, then we'll just read price and then we'll wait for the day after. This looks like it's going to stop us again. Let's see. So we want to see this swing point here get taken out to see momentum going higher here. If I say swing point, I'm referring to this one here. I want to see price close above that or go above that, then I think there's momentum for us to go higher. Alright, let's see if we're going to get a bounce. Yeah. Be nice to see a bounce to the upside, not the downside. Okay, now we run those two little equal lows there, so hopefully we pin now to go higher. Okay, so we obviously expected to get stopped out there because we're not pinning here and we are running lower into this February gap again. Maybe this little gap down here, I don't know. But if we stuck to that original trade, I mean, obviously we got stopped out, but took it here and get through this into that 50%. That gave us the profit, but obviously I expected something else. Didn't get it, got stopped out at break even, so not the end of the world. We managed our trade there, so I guess sometimes people would say, okay, Neil, but when you entered here, why don't you just take the profit there? Yeah, you could have, but maybe on days like this, FOMC or day before, it's maybe worth doing those trades rather than hoping for those home run type of trades. So Alright, so let's see what it's gonna, if it's gonna give us anything else. I'll take this off, take this off, take this off because it's done. There's nothing here that I would have shorted here, to be quite honest. So just so you guys know, if we go back to the 15-minute, I mean, we're pretty much stuck in this fair value gap. And we've already, go into this little gap here. So we might move sideways and then later in the session, maybe in the next 50 minutes or something, get into that high. Or maybe print equal highs and come back down, I don't know. Alright, so we've got this fair value gap right with this one, so that's probably a thick wall to bounce through, but if we invert this and break this high, then we're most probably going to see inversion on this one and then take price higher. But if we just see nothing's happening, then price will just do nothing. So let's just keep an eye on what it wants to do. Yeah. So it's respecting that 50% there. If it's going to stay like this, probably good short. I don't like that black candle, so I don't know if any of you guys took AM session trades. Let me know if you made some money or if you've done any trading today, or if there's anything specific that you're targeting. Okay, let me put my target out. 2025 is my target for today. Let's put this target 2025 level. That's what I think we're going to get to by the end of today. I don't know what you guys think. Does look like we want to go lower here. Because of this fair value gap projecting that midpoint. This level, yeah. I mean, that would give you your, well, it's 24 points, so you can easily squeeze 10 points out of that. You can do 10, 20 points a day, you can make a lot of money. Right, so if we invert this or close below, above this high, invert this, that in normality would suggest price to go higher. But let's see. Or maybe consolidation below, yeah, below this fair value gap now. Alright, so I'll give it some time still. Probably gonna stick around for another 15 minutes. Alright, so let's see if we're gonna close above that. Taking this high out, this low out. I want to see price actually trade higher from here. See if we can get this. So it looks like we're running liquidity and make higher lows, and therefore I'm expecting us to make higher to get to that top end of that fair value gap. So our price is struggling to move. That tells me that we pretty much gonna have a slow afternoon here. And I guess you know, when you get slow afternoons like this, most probably just better to walk away from the charts and you know, go enjoy your day and come back tomorrow and see what FOMC gonna do or present, and come back the day after and you know, look for those opportunities maybe in the AM session. I don't like those spins that it's forming, but I mean, it's making higher pins, so maybe it's gonna creep up slowly up there. Okay, so this is actually IFG, don't want to see price close below it. Maybe this is just a test. Could test this 50% of this IFG. Alright, so let's see. Close below this. I might just close it. Okay, so we close below this IFG. I'm closing my position. I'm not doing any further trading on this account because it's obviously not working. And if you really look at this, this is pretty much a sideways move. Go to the top, sell off, go to the top, sell off, go to the bottom, buy, go close to the bottom, up. We're most probably going to go here and then we go up again. As you can see, that's low, high, lower, low, higher, high, higher, low, lower, high, and I don't want to get squeezed into this. I don't know if I'm going to sit around for this much longer, guys, to be honest. It's not worth sitting through this, just trading. All I can say, I'll give you guys a quick recap quickly, and then I'll probably just jump off. Alright, so where are we? AM session run liquidity, runs up, comes back into the range, gets stuck there for a while in the mid. Now we're trying to go up. We're stuck between two fair value gaps. Never a good place. What we've seen in the past is fair value gap here, one in premium, one in discount. Price gets down here, sends price up, send price up. When we're up here, we could send price down again. And I don't want to you don't want to get stuck into this, so you either going to wait for price to actually break through one, then target this high to make higher highs because of this move up here. And if you are one of those who like to measure moves, that could be up to there. And then the last one, if we want to come back down to test something here, could go straight up to our fair value gap that we've marked out here yesterday actually. So that's what I see, that's where I think we're going to go. But I think the key thing now is how price is going to move between these two fair value gaps. And as you can see, it looks like it wants to push lower here. If you go back to the 1 minute, pretty much invert again. So you don't want to get, sort of all of these things where it inverts fair value gaps twice, 3 times, 4 times, not worth it. Alright, so I mean, I don't know what else to tell you guys. I think I'm gonna call it a day on this because I don't want to sit through this. There's nothing I can trade here. You can't trade fair value gaps, nothing here. Liquidity gets run, but price just doesn't want to move. So that tells me price might just go back and forth here, and maybe in the last minute of the the hour, we might see a big push up or just consolidation, or maybe overnight somewhere in Asia we'll see this play out. So what I'll do, guys, thanks for joining the short stream. Obviously going forward before FOMC, we're not going to trade, but I like to stream just to give you guys my thoughts. And I'll be around. I'll be back online tomorrow with the FOMC, so we can see it play out and see if there's any opportunity for us. And yeah, so don't overtrade, guys. Be safe. Thanks for joining, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care. Bye bye.